Hey, what's up, guys? I was trying to do my makeup with you guys, but it's already done, and so we're just gonna be talking about what I was gonna talk about. Also, comment down below on which glasses you think I should wear with this makeup. I was trying to do natural makeup, but it really don't look that natural. So, it looks like I did my eyebrows, and I'm wearing my lips, and I'm wearing mascara. That's not very natural, according to my last boyfriend. He did not like any makeup at all. He wanted all natural makeup. Anyways, so should I wear the blue ones or the red ones that have black sides as well? I was wearing the red ones already today, and I'm wearing a lot of red, but I'm also wearing a lot of blue. My pants are blue and my shoes are blue. But I'm gonna wear the blue ones because these ones are currently dirty, but comment down below which ones you think I should have worn. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about a touchy subject. Ooh, I forgot how these wear. Anyways, let me pop my neck really fast. Ooh, that was a good one. So, I love it when my fingers do that. Anyways, my thought process is today I've been thinking a lot about weird stuff. I was thinking about my mom, and then I started thinking about my dad. That's just how it goes for me. If you think about your mom, you gotta think, oh, do I have a dad? That's just how it is. So, my thought process is my mom married my dad when she was 19. So, no, they never got married. But she met my dad when she was 18, had me at 19, and then they never got married, and then my dad went to jail. So did my mom. My mom got out, and then my dad went to jail. I think it might have been prison actually, because he went in. His brother was in there. His brother was in a white supremacy gang, and that's the subject of today, is the white supremacy gang. Not just white supremacy, just gangs in general. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this, but that's just how it is. Also, my hair looks horrible. But I tried to do it, it's just because it's curly. I get that from my mom. I got the hair color from my dad, though. Anyways, I wish the back would stick up more. I should probably put more hairspray in it, because it looks horrible. Well, no, it looks a little better now. Anyways, so my dad ends up going in jail, and his brother's like, hey, we should get that guy to come into our gang because I know he's gonna be a good fighter. And the leader of the white supremacy group was like, hey, there's a lot of processes that we have to go through. So his brother was like, well, I know he's not gonna take the gang just because he wants to, because my dad had already dated 3 different black women and a woman that was from Mandarin or something like that. I think she was from, I don't think Mandarin is actually a ethnicity. All I know is she was from Asia or somewhere in that zone. So anyways, my mom, my dad is in jail. He's trying to get out. He's doing good. And then all of a sudden the leader of the gang comes over and is like he literally holds I don't know what it was, something up to him. My dad was I think he was threatened because my dad wouldn't have joined the gang at that time without, one, his brother persuading him very, very, very maliciously, or two, his life was threatened. It had to have been one of those two. His brother would have threatened his life either way. So anyways, I go and this was like 5 years ago. I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, hey, like, why'd you join the gang? This wasn't 5 years ago. This was like 8 or 9 years ago. I was like 15 or 16 at the time. Wait, I'm 20. This was not 8 or 9 years ago. It was 5 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago. Because if you think about it, I'm 20, 15 or 16. So like, I was between 14 and 16. I don't know how old I was. Anyways, I was talking to my dad on Facebook, and I was like, hey, why did you join the gang? He didn't really talk much about it because he doesn't like the gang. But he said, not much, of course. He said, I had no choice. Those were his exact words, and I can remember it to this day, the text and everything. He said, I had no choice. My thought process is you always have a choice. It's either you die or you live and join the gang. But some people are scared of death, and I think that's what happened. So, because there's no way in hell that the state's gonna save a prisoner. I'm sorry, it's true. The state of Utah, they are cruel to their prisoners. My grandfather went to prison for 7 years, and during that time, he earned his way up in prison. So he was able to go and work in the kitchen. Did you know the food comes in giant bags of labeled on the bag? It's a clear black bag with black writing on it that says not intended for human consumption. That's prisoners' food for you in the state of Utah. That's at least the prison that my grandfather went to. I don't know if that's all prisons, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. So, anyways, here I am. Sorry, I forgot to put the gel on my eyebrows, so I'm gonna do that really fast. So anyways, here I am talking to my dad, trying to understand, because my mom told me a lot of like stuff that sounded like bullshit to me. You know, and excuse my French, this is probably not a video that's going to be made for kids, considering I'm talking about some pretty crazy stuff. So if you guys don't like the idea that I'm swearing, don't be surprised. So anyways, I don't know what gang my dad is in. All I know is it's a white supremacy gang. I hate the fact that he's in it, and he hates the fact that he's in it. And I know he does, because he doesn't want to talk about it. And when my dad feels guilty, he kind of shuts down. Or he lies. My dad did not lie about this. He shut down. And I know that because, you know, it's my dad. And I know when he's lying because I've talked to him before on Facebook. You know, like when you know when stuff doesn't add up. Like, for example, he said he was off drugs and he was out of the gang. But then literally not even like the same year that we found out that he said he was off drugs, he said he had been off for 5 years, but he had also gotten arrested the same year and has said he had paraphernalia on him. So that means he's lying about his drug use. However, the gang, I believe that he was out of that gang because he shut down about it. You can tell he didn't like that side of him. You can tell. You just know. Like I said, no, actually, I didn't say this yet because the first 2 videos I made got deleted. Anyways, so my dad, something I believe is hatred is something that's taught and learned and can be broken, but it's not something that's created. Wait, it can be created, I think, because my dad was not always like this. He was not always racist. He was not always the type of person that would go and beat you up. He was not always the type of person that was violent. He was not always the type of person that went and did drugs for no reason. He was not always the type of person that was, you know, like horrible. He was not always horrible, you know? And I know for a fact that people who are in gangs know that what they're doing is wrong. I know that I'm white, and I know that I have no reason to be talking on this other than people have no excuse for what they're doing, and they know what they're doing is wrong. And I know this because my dad knows that what he's doing is wrong, and I know he does because he dated people who were black and Mandarin and everything else like that, and he will deny it to this day. But my mom showed me pictures with these women because she took the pictures off of his Facebook from when he was a teenager, because I don't even think Facebook was created then, so maybe he was like, I don't know, 25 at the time. But he had a Facebook account at some point. I don't know how old he was. And she took the pictures and printed them out just so she could show me, because his Facebook wasn't deleted yet. I don't know why Facebook hadn't deleted it, but it hadn't. My dad had hair that looked just like mine, except it was a little bit wavy. It wasn't curly. And he has like wavy hair. That's just what I know. But to this day, you will see him and his head is shaved. Why? Because he's in a white supremacy group. He shaves his head. He's got on his chest, he had the name Adolf Hitler tattooed on his chest, because white supremacy groups, they use Adolf Hitler, a lot of them, as, not all of them, but a lot of them use Adolf Hitler as like their idol. Like they idolize him and they look at him like he's basically a god in heaven or something like that. I don't know. They believe that like people with blonde hair and blue eyes are beautiful. That's probably why my dad probably dated my mom, is because she has blonde hair and blue eyes. My dad, there's a lot of things screwed up about him. And I could go into all his trauma stories that my mom told me about. But I'm not going to, because of course I don't have my dad's permission. I'm not even saying my dad's name because I don't have his permission. He can literally come here and look up my name and see me, and you know what? That's okay. But the thing is my dad has done a lot of screwed up things. And me personally, I hate that side of him. But like I said, people, I don't know if I've said this actually, people are scared of death. And he might have been threatened, or his brother might have threatened him. I don't know what the story was. But knowing my dad, something had to seriously have scared him and fucked with his brain to have made him do that. Because I know my dad. He's been through shit. He's been through hell and back. Okay? Because, because I cannot imagine what he had to have gone through in order for him to want to be in a white supremacy gang. I don't know if there was some dude in there that was opposite race of him and who might have done something to him to made him do that and hate them. I don't know if somebody lied to him and beat him up to the point where it brainwashed him. I don't know what happened. Okay? But what I know is something had to have seriously fucked with his brain, because to this day, he still shaves his head. I mean, last time I saw his Facebook account, his hair was like maybe this length, and he had the top grown out and the bottom was shaved. So like kind of like a swoop like this. Like a swoop. It went back and then it was like parted in the middle. My dad, he's beautiful when his hair's grown out. He's beautiful when his hair's bald. He's a beautiful man. But something turned him into hatred, and I don't know what it was. Sorry, I'm gonna have to pause the video for a second, you guys. Sorry, this is a very, like, touchy topic for me. My mom gave birth to a girl when I was 4 years old. She is half black. To this day, my dad will say he doesn't like the situation. I don't think he would ever hurt my sister. I don't even know why he does. I think he despises my mom's boyfriend. Not because he's black, but because he's jealous. My dad wants my mom. He's always loved her. He's always wanted to date her. He thinks she's perfect. She's beautiful. There's nothing in her that I don't think he wouldn't want. Even her and her drug use at 39 years old, he still loves her. And I know he does. There's gotta be a part of her that he loves. But she hates every single morsel of him because he's in that white supremacy group. My mom loves people who, she just loves people. And she thinks people are people. She doesn't care what color they are. Okay? So the fact that my dad is in a white supremacy group and he was threatened as badly as he was, because I don't know what happened, but I know my dad is tough. He's not no coward. I've met my dad. I met him once, and there was a man. I was sitting on my dad's lap, and there was a man in the truck, okay, and he was smoking weed, and my dad said, "Hey, put that out. She's 8 years old." Because the man was going to offer it to me, and my dad knew it. The man pulled a gun on us. My dad looked him in the eyes and said, "Hey, you need to stop. She's 8 years old." Okay, I was 8 or 9 years old at the time. I didn't remember what the fuck was going on. All I know is I remember it to this day, and I know what was going on. The guy had a knife strapped to his ankle and a gun holstered to his hip. Okay, and this man, what, I'm sorry to say this, I'm sorry to rat out my dad like this. This man was Mexican. Okay, and my dad, I'm not saying his name because I don't have my dad's permission. I don't live with my dad. I haven't talked to him in 5 years. But all I have to say is my dad, I don't know, he's undergone a lot of trauma just the same as I have. There's a reason he uses drugs. There's a reason all of the people who have done drugs have used drugs. They're trying to get rid of the pain that they're undergoing. And that's the only way my dad knows how to get rid of the pain and how to get rid of the guilt that he has for all the people he's beat up. Like, my dad has done some serious shit, okay? And I love my dad. The thing that frustrates me the most is that something so horrible had to turn him into a monster. Something so horrible had to turn him into somebody that he isn't. I don't know how, if he did get out of the gang, I don't know how he did. I know it's possible because there's a man that I met not too long ago who said he hasn't talked to the gang since he got out of prison, and he hasn't been with it for years. Same man who went into he was Aryan, which is a white supremacist gang that idolizes Adolf Hitler. He had I can't go into too much detail, but he had the British flag tattooed on his body. I'm not saying where and I'm not saying how. And he was in the white supremacist gang. He had done some serious shit. All I have to say is, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. God is forgiving. God can change your actions. You know? But there's just too much to say and not enough time. My dad is a great guy when he wants to be. I know he's capable of being a great guy. Because he's capable of loving. I think that there's a part of him that's terrified because his brother is still in the gang. I believe, and if the gang isn't, then if his brother isn't, then I don't know how he got out. But I'm pretty sure his brother's keeping tabs on him, and the gangs are everywhere, so they know where he's at. My dad's living in Arizona currently because he got kicked out of Utah because of that dumb gang. My dad lives in Arizona, and he is not able to come to Utah, because if he goes to Utah, he's getting arrested for several counts of aggravated assault and lots and lots and lots and lots of trouble. Like, these people could count him as an attempted murderer, and they could even kill him. The state of Utah. Because my dad is that bad. So, all I have to say is fuck gangs. I don't care what kind of gang. I don't care if it's the Crip, the Bloods, the Whites, meaning like, you know, the Aryan or the ADA or any of the white supremacy groups. I don't care if it's a Mexican gang. I don't care if you're part of who it is. Okay? Fuck gangs. Because gangs are fucked. Nobody wants to be part of a gang. Okay? And if they do, okay, there's gotta be something seriously wrong with them, because they have, okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest. When I was 15, I met a friend who was part of a Tongan gang when I was 15. I can't tell you his name, but I can tell you that he said his gang took anybody into their gang and protected them. Didn't care if they were white, didn't care if they were black, didn't care if they were Mexican, didn't care if they were Asian or whatever. They took them into their gang, like, as a protection, and would protect them. Women, children, men. Well, the men had to sign up with the gang, like, actually, like, go and beat somebody up and be part of the gang. Women and children, though, they were automatically put into the gang as a sign of protection, whether they were a boy or girl. Once you're 18, you had to go and either sign up with the gang for more protection and actually become a gang member, or you had to leave the gang and be done being safe. So I went and talked to the gang members and was like, hey, I need help. Like, because at the time, I was scared. I was really scared because I had just been done living with my grandfather, and my grandfather is a rapist. I don't know if he's certified as one. I don't know if the charges ever got charged, but he raped me, okay? And so I went to the gang and I said, hey, I need help. I am a child and I'm female. I need help. My friend said, we will protect you, okay? But there's not much that they could have done. All they can do is send people to our house every night to check on our house. I told my mom, I said, hey, can you allow this? And she said no. She turned it down completely. So, and I knew she would have turned it down. I knew she would have. Because knowing the gang, they probably would have went and beat up my grandfather. My grandfather is a 65-year-old male, and he's disgusting. He is racist as all get out, and he goes around hating on white people, but no, not white people, Native American people, but he's not a quarter. I'm pretty sure he's half Native American. I don't remember how much Native American he has in him, but he's very Native American. He hates on Native Americans and Mexicans and even black people, and I know he does because he'll say the N-word and all that crap. I don't trust him. And those people would have gone and beat him up, like beat him up bad. And my grandfather is a big guy. Like he's not tall. He's 5'7" and 3/4. Just because I know his height. But they would have beat him up because what I mean by big is he's buff. Like he's got giant shoulders. He's got a strong stomach. He's really buff, and they would have gone and beat him up. I would have, if I could, I would have paid for them to beat him to death. But nobody deserves that. And I changed my mind and I backed out at the last second. Because I think people who are like that there's a special place for people who are rapists. Okay? They deserve to rot in hell for 1,000,000 years. I don't even care how long they say that how long the devil will say that they deserve to go there. They deserve to rot in there for who matters how long. And the only place that I know that's close enough to hell for people like that is prison. So I went to the state of Utah, which is where I live, and I said, hey, can you guys arrest him? There was proof. We did a rape kit. There was proof that he raped me. The funny thing is my mom dropped the charges against him because I tried to say that he didn't, because I was angry with myself and I was feeling a lot of pressure, and I didn't want to undergo everything that had to happen to me during that entire situation. So I went and I told my mom, I said, hey, drop all of the charges against him. I don't even give a shit anymore. He had already been charged for child abuse and a bunch of other stuff. So I said, drop all the charges and just tell them I lied. So she did it. She knew she was lying. She didn't want to do it. She told the lawyer, she said, I know because he raped her too, but there's no proof that he raped her because she's had sex since then. But he raped her when she was 17. And so I think he did it because I look like her. Either that, or it's because he's a sick man and just loves to rape 13-year-old kids. So anyways, I went to my mom and I told her, and she called the lawyer immediately, and she called the investigator, told him to drop the charges, and he said, are you sure? She said, yeah, my daughter's not willing to give any more testimonies on it. And I was done. I gave as much of a testimony as was needed, and it really didn't matter. They could still charge him to this day for that testimony. They could charge him to this day for this video. All I know is I don't give a shit whether he goes to prison or not, because I already know that in the back of his conscience, there's something screwing him up and screaming at him saying this is wrong. And I know that because my dad is going through that every single day for the gang that he's in. And just knowing about everything that I've learned about gangs, I chose to just drop everything because I hate the idea of gangs. I think people are people and they should leave it alone. So that's my thought process.